Hello, here we go. The second round of the Motogp World Championship for qualifying. The Pertamina Grand Prix of Indonesia. The first time MotoGP have been at Indonesia since 1997. And we are about to get underway with qualifying. Second qualifying of the season, of course. And this is going to be an interesting one, that's for sure. We're at the Mandalika International Circuit of Indonesia. 17 corners. 17 corners on this street circuit. And Q1 is coming up very shortly. And this is what's happened after. This is what's happened after free practice. All throughout free practice so far. So out of the 24 riders, 10 riders have qualified for Q2 already. Fabio Quartararo, Franco Morbidelli, Johan Zarco, Jorge Martin, Enea Bastianini, the race winner of Qatar, the round one of the MotoGP World Championship, Jack Miller, Aleix Espargaro, Brad Binder, Miguel Oliveira, and Alex Rins. They have already qualified for Q2. They are the 10 fastest MotoGP riders that were throughout Q1, throughout free practice. Sorry, trying to get my head around things because it's 7:25 in the morning, and it's here in the UK, and I'm trying to get my brain working because it's this early. But yeah, and these are the names that have got it all to play for in Q1, and obviously the top two will qualify for Q2. So that's Andrea Dovizioso, Taka Nakagami, Maverick Vinales, Fabio Di Gianantonio, Marco Bezzecchi, Alex Marquez, Ralph Fernandez, Remy Gardner, Paul Espargaro, Joan Mir, Pecco Bagnaia, and Marc Marquez. All have got to qualify towards Q2. Also, Luca Marini. Luca Marini and Darren Binder. Yeah, some surprise names there. In there for Q1 to get into Q2. Marc Marquez, Joan Mir, Pecco Bagnaia, Paul Espargaro, all in Q1. They're names that should most likely be in Q2. Well, this man has got all the work to do. There's a few big names actually in Q1. Marc Marquez is one of them. But remember, two of them have got to qualify for Q2. And that will be a top 12 for battling it out for pole position. But with the two Repsol Hondas, Pecco Bagnaia and Joan Mir all in the mix, anything really could happen. Oh, not the best practice throughout practice for Juan Mir, the 2020 world champion. There he is as we have a look at him. He's got it all to work for Q to get into factory Ducati. He's struggled all weekend, to be honest, so far, Juan Mir. So, with the Suzuki looking erratic, Mir's got work to do. He has got work to do. So has Rins, but Rins has managed to qualify for Q2. There's Maverick Vinales on the Aprilia. He's got all the work to do on the factory Aprilia to try and qualify out of Q1 into Q2. And there's Marc Marquez's teammate at Repsol Honda, Paul Espargaro. It's disappointing for the Repsol Honda team. They were superb in Qatar and looked to be the team to beat after Qatar, despite Enea Bastianini's victory. And here they are, both in Q1 for the Indonesian qualifying. Here's another Honda, Taka Nakagami, the Japanese rider on the grid. He's 10th in the World Championship at the moment. A man from Chiba, from Japan. Both LCR Hondas are there. Taka Nakagami and that man there, number 73, Alex Marquez. Obviously, Marquez's brother. There's so many top quality riders in Q1. But here we go. We've got 15 minutes of Q1 underway as they all come out. Obviously, the top 10 have already qualified into Q2. The bottom 14 now make their way out of pit lane onto the Indonesian circuit to battle it out on who's going to make it to Q2. And then obviously the top 12 battle it out for Q2. There's Juan Mir, the 2020 world champion, now about to make his way out, on board with Marc Marquez. Already looking to complete a lap of this magnificent circuit to get a fast lap underway. Now on board with Pecco Bagnaia. Of course, his teammate Jack Miller is already through into Q2. Pecco Bagnaia has a medium on his front and a soft on his rear. Obviously using slick tyres. It's dry here at Mandalika in Indonesia. So, this is Marc Marquez's first proper lap time as he dives past through the chicane. And now most of them are starting their fast laps. Bagnaia, Fabio Di Gianantonio, Juan Mir, Andrea Dovizioso, Vinales, Nakagami, Luca Marini. Marc Marquez lacking a bit of confidence in that RC211V. We're on board with him now. And now we're on board with Pecco Bagnaia. Marc Marquez is going through turn 15 now into turn 16. So he's about to finish his lap and see where he ends up. He had a slide there from Marc Marquez. Nearly lost the front as the back of the bike nearly lost it then. But Marquez now on the home finish straight. It's a 1:31.830 for Marc Marquez. That's just over 0.2 of way of the best time we've had of the weekend so far. On board with Pecco Bagnaia. And he can't do it either. Bezzecchi has beaten Marc Marquez's time. A 1:31.695 for Marco Bezzecchi in the VR46 team. And his teammate, Luca Marini, goes even faster than Marc Marquez. That man on the Repsol Honda has got so much work to do. Look at that slide. Beautiful shot at turn 16 of the 8-time world champion. A huge slide from Marc Marquez. And 10.5 minutes to go with Q1. And so far, it's Bezzecchi and Marini, the two Muni VR46 racing team Ducatis that will go through to Q2. Brilliant from them so far. So Marc Marquez will start 13th on the grid as it stands on that 5th row from Fabio Di Gianantonio and then his teammate Paul Espargaro. Pecco Bagnaia 16th on the grid as it stands as Alex Marquez improves his time 1:31.987. Bagnaia goes fastest and Juan Mir is dead last on the grid as it stands. Him and Taka Nakagami bring up the rear. Here's Raul Fernandez, the runner-up of the Moto2 World Championship last year. About to make a fast lap time himself. Dovizioso, 1:32.115 for him. He's 18th on the grid as it stands. And now we're on board with Juan Mir, the 2020 World Champion, of 1:32.229. He's struggling. He's down in 20 seconds at the moment. So Juan Mir, 20 seconds on the grid as it stands. He has got work to do. But as it stands, going into Q2 will be Pecco Bagnaia on board the Ducati and Marco Bezzecchi on board the VR46 bike. As Bezzecchi goes past Bagnaia. They both go into the pits, as does Fabio Di Gianantonio. Just over 8 minutes to go. Just going to get something quickly. On board with Marc Marquez. As he starts another fast lap. He's on 25 seconds so far as he goes into turn 4. My bloody internet's just gets disconnected. But I know we've got 7 minutes, 24 seconds left. Oh my God, stop buffering, please. We're halfway through Q1 as it stands. Marc Marquez nearly lost the front there. He is pushing, and pushing. I'll tell you what, that is determination right there in a nutshell. Oh, and he's down. He's down. That could be crucial. Marc Marquez has crashed. He is pushing so hard to catch Pecco Bagnaia and the VR46 boys to try and get out of Q1 into Q2. Thankfully, he's okay as he runs away. It's turn 13 he crashes at. Oh, lost the front there. Turn 13. Marc Marquez crashed out. And thankfully, he is okay. He has got 5 minutes, 42 seconds to get on that second bike and try and get into Q2. He's 4th place at the moment, which is 14th on the grid, which is not good enough for the 8-time world champion. That is the middle of the 5th row, and he will be eliminated as it stands. He will be on the 5th row of the grid, Marquez, which will be such a disappointing qualifying session for him. And there he goes, losing the front at turn 13. But Marc Marquez is okay. But he has crashed. And that has costed him dearly as it stands. The 5-minute marker of what's left has gone. Here's Pecco Bagnaia on the Ducati. Currently top. He will be qualifying for Q2 as it stands. Him and Marco Bezzecchi, 2 Italians. He's 20 seconds on the grid so far, Joan Mir. He is absolutely struggling at the moment, the 2020 world champion. But no, as it stands, the man from Turin, Bagnaia, and the man from the Rimini coast, Bezzecchi, are going through. There's Marc Marquez. He's running back into his pit garage to get that second bike running, to try and make an impression. And he's out. He's out already. Out into the pits, about to come out. He's still 4th at the moment, but he goes full on Usain Bolt onto that second bike, rushing onto it, and now he's coming back on track. He's trying to improve his lap time. Schwanmir does improve. Oh, Bezecchi's crashed as well. Bezecchi has also crashed. He's looked so good this Q1 as well. It'll be disappointing for him he gets knocked out. Is it turn 16? Turn 16, Marco Bezecchi crashes out. And the man who finished third in Moto2 last season does bin it at turn 16. Which is a shame for him. And another Moto2 graduate, Fabio Di Gianantonio, the man who finished 7th in Moto2 last season. He's going through to Q2 as it stands. Is Paul Espargaro. Loses the rear, but manages to stay on the bike. He nearly joins his teammates into losing the front and crashing out. But that's some save by Paul Espargaro. He's fuming. He's so frustrated with the bike there, Paul Espargaro. Repsol Honda are struggling. Not going to script for them at all compared to Qatar. And they nearly looked like some sort of scrap going on. Just under a minute and a half to go. Pecco Bagnaia and Fabio Di Gianantonio will be going through to Q2 as it stands. Bagnaia on the Ducati and Di Gianantonio on the Gresini. Teammates, of course, of the Qatar race winner, Enea Bastianini, who was already qualified for Q2. Minute to go. This is Marc Marquez. He is right behind Taka Nakagami. He wants to get past Taka Nakagami for his fast lap here. Held up by Nakagami. He goes past Nakagami. And he's got that quickly. But will it be enough to be... Oh, and he's down again! Oh, he's got it down. That's it. It's surely over. That's game over for Marc Marquez. 2 crashes in the space of 5 minutes. He can't believe it. I can't believe it. This time at turn 12, the turn before his first crash. Not good enough for Luca Marini to beat Bagnaia or Gianantonio. He's out. Marc Marquez has crashed. Once more. Schwalbe has also crashed. Both world champions are going to be knocked out of Q1. A disastrous Q1 for Marc Marquez and Schwalbe. And he loses the front as well, Schwalbe. But Marc Marquez was once again pushing and pushing. He was getting frustrated trying to get past Nakagami. Gets past Nakagami. Pushing really hard, looking for it to be a competition to try and get out into Q2 and through to Q2, and then loses the front at turn 12 and a second successive crash for Marc Marquez in the space of 5 minutes. And that's it. He's out. Marc Marquez will be on the 5th row of the grid, 15th on the grid. As it stands. Well, Paulo Spargaro's finished 16th on the grid. He will be as it stands. In fact, that is it. That is it. What a dramatic end to Q1. Pecco Bagnaia and Fabio Di Gianantonio go through. So this is things as it stands. So Taka Nakagami. So Luca Marini is out. He's 13th on the grid. Your fifth row is Luca Marini, Marco Bezzecchi, the two VR46 boys, and Marc Marquez. That is your fifth row of the grid. Then row 6 is Paulo Spargaro 16th, Andrea Dovizioso 17th, and Juan Mir down in 18th spot. And then the 7th row of the grid is Alex Marquez in 19th, Maverick Vinales in 20th, and Ralph Fernandez in 21st. And then bringing up the rear on row 8 is the reigning Moto2 world champion Remy Gardner in 22nd, ahead of Darren Binder in 23rd, and Taka Nakagami is dead last on the grid, bringing up the rear. Disappointing qualifying for Nakagami. And like a few of the stars that got knocked out early, Vinales, Mir, Dovizioso, the two Repsol Hondas, he's got work to do. But Pecco Bagnaia will join his teammate Jack Miller into Q2, and so will Fabio Di Gianantonio. He will join Enea Bastianini and the top 10 riders into Q2. Look at the disappointed face in Marc Marquez. He cannot believe it. What drama Indonesia has provided so far. This man safely through. Pecco Bagnaia. 131.219. Best lap of the weekend so far. And that's enough for Pecco to go into Q2. What a qualifying session for Fabio Di Gianantonio. For the very first time as well. Of course, he is a rookie for Moto2. He's a rookie from Moto2, joining the MotoGP class this season. And that's brilliant from Fabio Di Gianantonio. So Bagnaia and Di Gianantonio are safely through. Marini's out. Bezzecchi's out. Marc Marquez is out. Paulo Spargaro's out. Dovizioso, Mir, Alex Marquez. That is your 13th to 19th. Vinales 20th. Ralph Fernandez 21st. Remy Gardner 22nd. Darren Binder 23rd. And bringing up the rear is Taka Nakagami for tomorrow's race here in Southeast Asia at the Mandalika circuit. So Pecco Bagnaia goes through with Fabio Di Gianantonio. And now we've got pole position, the battle for pole position coming up. Q2 is going to be among us. So here we go. Q2 is about to start. Look at that view. Look at that view of the circuit there. Stunning. Absolutely stunning. Oh my God. My Wi-Fi is absolutely shocking this morning. That's the second time the internet's disconnected out of nowhere. Look at that. That's stunning. Reminds me of Phillip Island. It's a stunning location for a race circuit, right by the sea and the coast and the tropical environment that is Indonesia. That's stunning. Absolutely stunning. Right, I'm gonna see. Before we get into Q2, I want to see if there's I want to see if I've had any comments so far. No, nothing there. What's on here? No, nothing has appeared on the chat yet so far. I just wanted to double check. No, actually a couple of hours away from the capital city of Jakarta, here at the Mandalika International Street Circuit for round 2 of the Motogp World Championship. That was such a dramatic Q1 though. You've got to be honest. Marc Marquez, you could not predict Marc Marquez, the 8-time world champion, to crash in Q1 as well. And him to crash in the space of 5 minutes to cost him a place in Q2. He's on the 5th row of the grid, Marc Marquez. So this is a reminder of the eliminated riders. Luca Marini's out, 13th on the grid. Marco Bezzecchi's 14th. Marc Marquez 15th. Paul Espargaro 16th. Andrea Dovizioso 17th. Joan Mir 18th. Alex Marquez 19th. Maverick Vinales 20th. Raul Fernandez 21st. Remy Gardner 22nd. Darren Binder 23rd, and bringing up the rear, Taka Nakagami on the LCR Honda. All the Hondas are out. They've all struggled. They have all struggled in 15th, 16th, 19th, and 24th. That is an absolute shame for the company that are based right by the twin ring Motegi circuit in Japan. Of course, that is, well, not based right next to them, but like that is their circuit. That is Honda's backyard, as it's called. But no, despite Marini and Bezzecchi being knocked out and they're on Ducatis, the Ducati does look like the strongest bike so far during the weekend. The Repsol Hondas have struggled, and the Suzuki of Joan Mir has also struggled. He is 18th on the grid at the end of the 6th row, while his teammate Alex Rins is going to battle it out for pole position with 11 other riders. Quartararo, Morbidelli, Zarco, Martin, Bastianini, Miller, Aleix Espargaro, Brad Binder, Oliveira, Rins, and the 2 riders that have qualified from Q1, Pecco Bagnaia and Fabio Di Gianantonio. Q2, which is going to be much anticipated and most exciting after that dramatic Q1, will be starting very soon. It will be starting very soon. There is Fabio Quartararo. He already, through free practice, made it through to Q2, no problem. He is 9th in the World Championship, the defending world champion as it stands, because that's obviously where he finished in Qatar. A bit of a disappointing first round for the reigning world champion at Qatar. He didn't quite make the impression that he, Yamaha, and his fans and the MotoGP paddock were thinking that they were going to see. So it has been a quiet start to the season for the reigning world champion from Nice in France. And with him through to Q2, this could be a turnaround for him. And here is Jorge Martin, the fast Jorge Martin on the Pramac Ducati. The man who was on pole position, at the previous round at Qatar 2 weeks ago at the Losail International Circuit. But Jorge Martin's race ended badly because, of course, he crashed with Pecco Bagnaia during the race at Losail. Here's Franco Morbidelli, Fabio Quartararo's teammate at the factory Yamaha team. Of course, his new teammate in the factory Yamaha team because he's taken Maverick Vinales' place in that team, with Maverick Vinales, of course, joining Aleix Espargaro at Aprilia. So another 15 minutes coming up then for Q2. Another 15 minutes coming up. On board with Pecco Bagnaia. The man who has avoided all that drama at the end of Q1 to stay in the pits, and his lap time proved to be worth it to qualify for Q2. Marc Marquez crashed, Joan Mir crashed, and it paid off for Pecco Bagnaia. And he's gone through. On board with Enea Bastianini, the championship leader, the race winner at Qatar. He's also from Rimini, the Rimini coast of Italy. And the winner at Qatar, Enea Bastianini. Imagine if he got pole, it'd be stunning for the Gresini team. On board with the reigning world champion, El Diablo Fabio Quartararo. Catalunya from last year is the last time Quartararo got pole position. Can he break that hiatus today? Is Alex Rins on the Suzuki. On board with him now. Alex Rins, he's providing the flag for Suzuki, really. After Joan Mir's disastrous qualifying session. And Rins is the only Suzuki rider to make it into Q2. I mean, there are 2 Suzuki riders anyway, but Rins is flying the flag for Suzuki at the moment, the number 42. And him and Pecco Bagnaia are now starting their fast lap times to see what they can get out of Q2 so far. We've got just over 12 and a half minutes to go in this qualifying session. Of course, your top 2 in the championship at the moment are Enea Bastianini and that brilliant ride from Brad Binder, finishing second place for the KTM team. And both of the factory KTMs have qualified for this qualifying session here for Q2. And it looks good for them. Both Brad Binder and Miguel Oliveira. So, Bagnaya's fastest as it stands, from Di Gianantonio, from Aleix Espargaro, from Alex Rins, from Fabio Quartararo. Here's Miguel Oliveira. He goes fourth fastest. So that's the start of the second row for the Portuguese rider as it stands. Jorge Martin's currently on his fast lap as well, as is Fabio Quartararo. Here is Jorge Martin, your pole sitter at Qatar. Bastianini goes first. His teammate is faster than him. Di Gianantonio is faster than Bastianini as it stands. Jorge Martin goes second fastest behind Pecco Bagnaia. Morbidelli's crashed. As we look at Fabio Quartararo for his fast lap, his teammate, Franco Morbidelli, meanwhile, has crashed on the other factory Yamaha. So that hasn't worked out for him. But Fabio Quartararo goes fastest. The reigning world champion is on pole position as it stands. He goes faster than Pecco Bagnaia. Impressive time for Fabio Quartararo. Enea Bastianini is starting another fast lap. And there is Franco Morbidelli. He's okay. Loses the front at turn 5. The front doesn't hang in there. So, 10 minutes to go. Morbidelli crashes out of turn 5. Here's Enea Bastianini. He's at the end of the second row as it stands 6th place, behind his teammate who has looked so impressive so far in 5th spot. Pecco Bagnaia comes into the pits meanwhile, back into his factory Ducati pit garage. It's 2 Ducatis and the Yamaha of Quartararo on that front row so far. Quartararo, Bagnaia and Jorge Martin. That is your top 3 as it stands. Then it's Aleix Espargaro, Di Gianantonio and Bastianini on row 2. Row 3 is Oliveira, Rins and Zarco. And row 4 is Brad Binder, Morbidelli and Jack Miller. On board with Bastianini. %57% lean angle there. What can he do? The race winner at Qatar, and that's ruined his lap. That has ruined Enea Bastianini's lap, and he shakes his head in frustration. He does keep hold of the bike. He doesn't crash, but he nearly did. And he nearly lost the front, and that caused him to go wide, and that has just spoiled Enea Bastianini's lap time. Actually thought he was crashing as well then. In turn 11 he goes. Nearly loses the front. He saves the bike though, and then goes wide, and he shakes his head in frustration. He can't believe it. He will not be happy about that. That has spoiled Bastianini's lap time. Jorge Martin, meanwhile, also comes into the pits. Quartararo looks on in his Yamaha pit garage. He's all right for now, though. He's fastest. 131. It's a 131.227 for El Diablo. And he looks comfortable. He's on pole position as it stands. The reigning world champion looking to make up this weekend from his disappointing first round at Qatar. Is a replay of Johan Zarco going into turn 10. Oh, he nearly loses the front as well. I'll tell you what, there's been so many moments and crashes so far this qualifying session, in both qualifying sessions. Morbidelli's crashed, Marquez has crashed twice, Juan Mir has crashed, Zarco nearly crashes, Bastianini nearly crashes. 6.5 minutes to go. Quartararo is about to come back out and start another fast lap, as does Alex Rins, as does Jack Miller, as does Miguel Oliveira, as does one of the Pramac Ducatis. I can't see who that was, though. Franco Morbidelli also looks to come out. Enia Bastianini's coming out. It was Jorge Martin who has come back out. Not Johan Zarco. Johan Zarco's in the pits on the other Pramac Ducati. So, the man who's second on the grid at the moment is Pecco Bagnaia, looking to beat Fabio Quartararo's time. The man from Turin on board that factory Ducati. He is second on the grid as it stands. I want to see this replay, actually. I'm glad I choose it. Look at the way that rear wheel slides going into turn 10. Looks stunning. Stunning videography there. He'll be happy with that, though. And here he goes. He crosses the line. Still second fastest. And he's going to go again to try and beat Fabio Quartararo, this man here. As he starts yet another lap time himself. Alex Rins also doing a fast lap. He's behind Quartararo so far this race. As the front wheel slides then of Fabio Quartararo. How he manages to keep that on is absolutely spectacular and not crashing out. Not that I want to jinx anything for the reigning world champion. But he really is on it, isn't he, Fabio Quartararo? He is on pole position as it stands, and this will make up from the disappointing weekend he had in Qatar, and he finished 9th in the race. If Fabio Quartararo is a race-winning candidate tomorrow here at Indonesia, this will already make up from his dismal start of the season, his quiet start of the season. To be fair, this is only the second round of the season, so obviously we know this is early days. But just over 3 minutes to go. Quartararo's looking good as well. But your front three is the same front three at the moment. Quartararo, Bagnaia, and Jorge Martin, who goes second fastest, ahead of Bagnaia, beating Oliveira's improved lap time and Alex Rins' improved lap time. Oliveira and Rins are on the second row of the grid. Meanwhile, Aleix Espargaro on that factory Aprilia is going for a fast lap at the moment. He's and he's crashed. He's crashed. Another victim here in these conditions here at the Mandalika International Street Circuit. Another victim in crashing this qualifying today is Aleix Espargaro. He's currently 7th on the grid. He is on the 3rd row, but he's crashed at turn 10. Let's have a look at the replay of Aleix Espargaro's crash. It was his rear. It was the rear that caused the bike to crash. Most of the crashes have been from the front, but that was from the rear from Aleix Espargaro. That could be crucial for pole position, and that could spoil Aleix Espargaro. That could spoil Aleix Espargaro's crashing, but the yellow flags are out at the moment. Still, with just over a minute to go, and if these yellow flags stay out, then Quartararo will, without a shadow of a doubt, be on pole position. Just over a minute to go for these guys. It's now or never for these guys. So this is the crucial last lap for these 12 riders. Well, when I say 12, it's probably 11 of them, because I think Aleix Espargaro's qualifying is done after that crash. He's currently on the third row in 7th place, ahead of the two Gracidis of Di Gian Antonio and this man here, the race winner at Qatar, Enea Bastianini. Right leg comes out of Enea Bastianini as he makes way into that corner. Going into that corner. He's on the end of the third row. Alex Rins runs wide. Jorge Martin also runs wide. Zarco also on a fast lap. But he's on the 4th row at the moment in 11th place, between Brad Binder and Franco Morbidelli on that 4th row. The checker flag is now out, so we're going to see where everyone qualifies. Bastianini goes faster than Bagnaia. Brad Binder goes faster than him, though. Zarco is third fastest. Both Pramac Ducatis on that front row as it stands. None of them have beaten Quartararo so far. Brad Binder will be on the second row, and yeah, none of them have beaten his time. So there you have it. 1:31.067 for Fabio Quartararo. He will be on pole position for the race at Indonesia tomorrow morning. Great British time. Here at the Pertamina Grand Prix of Indonesia at the Mandalika International Circuit. And no one could beat the Frenchman's time. The defending world champion, Fabio Quartararo, will take his first pole position since Catalonia last year. And Fabio is on pole. And look how excited he is with that one. He's delighted with that one. Can he convert that into his first race win of the season tomorrow to finally get his well, not really finally, because it's only the second race of the season, obviously, but like if he gets a race win tomorrow, Fabio Quartararo, that will kick off his title defence here of the 2022 MotoGP World Championship. And there you go. That's qualifying confirmed. Your front row, Fabio Quartararo will start on pole position. He is on pole with Jorge Martin, the man who was on pole at Qatar, who's second on the grid in the middle of that front row. Another brilliant qualifying for Jorge Martin. And then Johan Zarco completes the end of the front row in what has turned out to be a fantastic qualifying session for the Pramac Ducati team. So that's your front row. Second row, Brad Binder on the KTM, Enea Bastianini, the race winner at Qatar, on board that Gracini bike, and then Pecco Bagnaia on the Ducati. The third row, Miguel Oliveira, Alex Rins, and Jack Miller. To be honest, that's actually quite a decent qualifying for Alex Rins if you think about it, given how disastrous this weekend has been for Suzuki so far. And Juan Mir's qualifying has proved it because he is down all the way down in 18th on the grid. And he's got so much work to do for the race on Sunday. And then your fourth row completing Q2, Aleix Espargaro, Fabio Di Gianantonio, and Franco Morbidelli. And to be honest, the teammate of Enea Bastianini, Di Gianantonio, can do himself proud because he had a fantastic Q1 to get into Q2. So either way, he should be pleased with 11th. And he's beaten a factory Yamaha, Franco Morbidelli, down in 12th on the grid on the fourth row, the end of the fourth row, while his teammate and the defending world champion, Fabio Quartararo, is on pole. But yeah, we were wondering who would be the master of qualifying today for this circuit that has come back for the first time in ages. And it is Fabio Quartararo, the reigning world champion. His first pole position since Catalonia at Barcelona in 2021. That start will be vital tomorrow morning. Fabio Quartararo's got tough competition with the two Pramac Ducatis on that front row. And I'll tell you what, it's going to bring up an exciting race for tomorrow morning, that's for sure. Well, tomorrow morning in the UK, it's about 8 hours later, I think it is, in Indonesia. So yeah, if I was in Indonesia right now, I'd be fully 100% awake. So yeah. Well, there you have it. That's the end of qualifying. That is the end of qualifying here at Indonesia for round 2 of the MotoGP World Championship. And we've got a race to look forward to tomorrow morning. Tomorrow. I can't wait. We'll see you then. Cheerio.